and welcome to the second ever live episode of the Sports Coverage Podcast. My name is Vince Marino, and I am alongside my co-host, Sammy. Sammy, thank you so much for joining today.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I'm being here.
Yeah, so we've had a lot since the last live episode. I just said we get right into it with the NBA because, like you can tell on the bottom of our screen, it's really just the NBA and the NFL for right now. Yeah, Sammy, so let's get into it. All right. So the first big news of the week since free agency started was that the Chicago Bulls are trading Lonzo Ball to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Isaac Okoro. We have obviously heard a lot about the Cavs in recent years. They've been one of those mediocre teams. I'm not gonna lie to you. We saw them in the play in these last couple of years, but they were able to be the number one seed, one of the better teams coming out of the East. And then obviously they fluked in the playoffs. Getting Lonzo Ball to this lineup, I think, as a veteran aspect of it, huge. What do you think about it?
Oh, I think this is a great trade for Cleveland because if you look at Isaac Okoro, he wasn't the main guard on their team. They had Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, among others. Lonzo Ball's going to fit the role perfectly. Good three-point shooter, good veteran on the team. I think it's a really good trade.
Yeah, I mean, we see Lonzo wasn't really doing much for that Bulls team, and I think this trade definitely needed to happen in the future at least, and it did happen. So I think Lonzo got what he wanted, and I think for Isaac Okoro, obviously leaving such a stacked Cleveland team is definitely going to hurt his career, but hopefully he can find his way with the Bulls and fit in somehow. Now we're going to get into even bigger news, Sammy. Listen, I don't know if you're ready for this. You know, growing up for the both of us, we watched LeBron every step of the way. He has been, the king. We have watched him every step of the way. He has been in the NBA our entire lives, and you know, as we see here, he's opting into his $52.6 million player option for the 25-26 season. But his agent did say LeBron knows the Lakers are building for that future, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. And I'm going to be so honest with you, we've seen the Lakers make it to the conference finals ever since their last championship in 2020. The only issue about that was they lost to the Nuggets, right? And let me ask you something. Do you really think the Lakers are going to be able to win? I mean, I get it, they have Luka, all right? But in the future, they want to build around Luka. And I think LeBron not being, in some way, the main target, the main player they're building around, it sparks something, right? And so my question for you is, you think the Lakers are going to be able to make it back to the promised land of, winning it all again? And do you think they're going to be able to fulfill LeBron James's wishes?
I mean, fulfilling LeBron James' wishes is a big task because he's the greatest of all time. Now, the thing is, Luka, I think, is going to be with this team for a really long time. And him with Austin Reeves together, I think, could be a really good dynamic duo in the West. If they're both there for 10 years, I think they can definitely carry on LeBron's legacy and take the Lakers to the promised land. But I think this is going to sound funny. They're definitely going to need a center.
Yeah, listen, this Lakers team has definitely been through a lot. A huge roller coaster, and I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. This has been one of those things where, the Lakers haven't been able to really, again, fulfill what LeBron James has wanted since that championship win. So yeah. Hold on. Wait 1 second. Supposedly my mic isn't working.
Yours is working. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's a little weird. I don't know what's up with that, but it's been up. Oh, you gotta turn your thing up. Wait, what?
My thing is maxed.
Whose mic? We This is actually insane.
What the heck?
Make sure that's all the way up. Make sure that's all the way up. Make sure that's all the way up. Make sure that's all the way up.
Yeah, it's been up. Don't really know.
Hold up. My thing's all good. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't
what
know,
it is.
man. This is. Alright, well, hold on, guys. We can't hear Sammy at all. This is not. Why are we having technical difficulties? This is not what we hope for.
Yo, yo, yo.
So what does Andrew say? All right. Well, anyway, hold on. This is such a weird thing. Andrew, our producer and our main host, says he can't hear us. I don't know what's going on. Jack, can you please tell us if you can hear me and Sammy, because we got cut off from an amazing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jack. Thank you so much. This is. I don't even know what's going on.
He can't hear us?
No, I think it's Andrew who can't hear us. Actually, All right. Well.
Oh my god.
Wow. Hold on. It was him the whole time. What a disaster. Oh my god.
Oh.
Wow. Holy.
Yo, what are we doing?
Oh my god. Andrew Buggan, we can hear you, big dog. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. All right. Well, let's get back to this topic of LeBron and the Lakers. I don't know what Andrew's. Everyone boo Andrew in the chat. Let's get some boos going.
Everybody boo Andrew.
Yeah, let's get some boos in the chat. Come on, bro. We were perfectly fine. Well, we apologize for that. So I'll take the fault, but it's okay. Yeah, thank you for the boo, Jack. Okay. All right. Well, anyway. So back to that talk of the Lakers. I mean, we really haven't seen a lot from this Lakers team again since that run to the Western Conference Finals just a couple years ago in the 23-24 season. And to be so honest with you, Sammy, I don't see this Lakers team going beyond. I mean, I shouldn't say the play-in or the wild card. Maybe I'd say the wild card. Honestly, I mean, I get it. They have Luka, but again, you look at the longevity of it. LeBron isn't gonna stick around if he knows this team isn't gonna be able to fulfill his needs. So maybe LeBron does end up leaving. Speaking about that, do you think there's a certain destination he can go to?
I've been looking around. I think he's got to end his career in Cleveland. They're the biggest contenders, I think, in the whole NBA. Like, you look at their team, they had 67 wins this year. It's his hometown. I think it all makes sense.
Give me just a second, Sammy. You can keep going. Keep going on your take. I'll be right back.
So I think that'd be the perfect spot for him. You look at all the other teams, Sixers possibly, because they're also contenders, and I'm a fan of them. Let's see, who else? Heat, maybe, because he also played for them, and they're on the rise a little bit. And then I also think Chicago Bulls, because they're one of the younger teams in the NBA, yet they haven't had much success, and I think they would really, give them a big boost.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I was walking down the hallway and I heard that. I don't know if the Bulls would be one of those destinations where he can go to. We take a look at that Bulls team. Like I said, with Isaac Okoro, will he be happy? Is what I said, right? I don't think LeBron wants to go to a Bulls team that isn't able to win, right? We've heard a lot of trade rumors, right? DeMar DeRozan left for Sacramento just a year ago. We talk about Zach LaVine, who obviously isn't happy at all, wasn't happy. So, in my honest opinion, I don't think the Bulls are one of those destinations he can go to. In my opinion, I think we talk about teams who need a veteran, a player who, is bossy in a way. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, LeBron is bossy. obviously witnessed it and dealt with it firsthand when he came to Miami when I was younger. So I know how it feels to deal with the diva himself. I personally do think he should go to one of those younger teams. Obviously, the Thunder shouldn't be mentioned, right? Because they can win without such a big veteran presence, right? They don't need LeBron. If we were to talk about a team, in my personal opinion, I would say, See, that was a really good take, but I can't finish off with the team. Give me Miami again. Let's go back to Miami. They need that veteran presence. I know that's a crazy take, but you take a look at that team. We're getting rid of not everybody, but from a certain extent, we just got rid of Duncan Robinson, who was our built-up player, who was obviously undrafted. So I think we're filling up money in a way. We're filling up a lot of cap space. I do personally think if we want to pay LeBron, I think, we also heard his wife say that Miami is the one thing she misses out of LeBron's career. So is this bias, Vinny? No, it is not, Jack. Actually, it's not. I just think it makes sense though. So, but yeah, I would say the Heat. I don't, but no, I mean, yeah.
I see the Heat as a possible destination. They need a veteran presence. Tyler Hero and him could be dynamic together. I definitely think that's an option.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the. No, I was gonna say the Mavs for a second. That doesn't make any sense.
Him and AD again?
Nah, they would never. Nah, that can never happen. Can't have Cooper and. Well, I mean, although Cooper and LeBron would. I mean, I think that would be an insane duo, and not only would LeBron be able to be one of those mentors for one of the better players coming into the NBA. I just don't think it can ever happen. But I think besides the Heat and the Cavs, I don't really know any other team he can possibly go to. I think returning back to his old teams is kind of the way to go. Oh, Sammy, we can't hear you now.
Again?
I don't know. Well, thank you for the feedback.
Literally, I hear you perfectly fine.
Oh, now look at Andrew. Sammy, check if your mic is connected to your mic and not your. Oh yeah, check if it's connected to your mic and not your AirPods.
It is, bro. It's been connected the whole
All right,
time.
well look, Shane can hear Sammy. Oh, what's going on, guys? This is what a disaster, bro. Give it up for our producer.
Wait, can everybody hear me?
Oh
Besides
my.
Andrew.
Besides Andrew. Sammy, your mic is not on. Okay, well, thank you for this feedback. Okay, well, Sammy, supposedly you need to hold the mic closer.
Like this?
I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, I don't even. All right, well, this is. I can hear
I
it's
don't
just
know what's
quiet. That's
going
all.
on.
Well, make sure that your mic is all the way up. Oh my God, this is honestly a disaster.
Are they trolling?
No, they're not. No one's trolling. Sammy, bro, the mic isn't working. You're just talking regularly. We can hear you, but it's not coming from the mic. Oh, yeah, I think I know why. We can hear you through my audio from my computer. We can hear you.
What's that echo?
Yeah, but I don't think it's about the echo. I think it's just. Sorry, everyone that's in the chat and then watching that has to deal with this. This is honestly not like us. We're better than this. I apologize. We do have good takes, but hold on. Yo, Jack, tone. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus.
They can hear me, bro. I think they're trolling.
All right, well, now Jack's saying Sammy is fine. So, to be so honest with you, I don't know what's going on. Just speak up. Why the kid on the left look like Marlon? Oh, well, yeah, you do look pretty handsome, Sammy.
I appreciate it.
I'll support through the storm, boys. Thank you. Hey, Danny's a real one. Everyone give it up for Danny in the chat. He's a real one. Yeah, we need more people like Danny in the world.
We do.
Andrew says, or move closer to computer. I don't know. I don't know if that's.
I don't even know. Like, I can hear you perfect. Bro.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine. I don't know what's going on. Well, I don't even. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. Comment. A dot if we can continue with the podcast and not have to, stop every once in a while because, supposedly our mics are going out. Just everyone comment a dot if we're allowed to keep going. Okay. Shane said it's good, guys. Just let's get back to talking. All right, we'll get back. All right, sorry about that, guys. That is.
Let's go back.
All right, perfect. All right. So yeah, I mean, I think talking about LeBron, I don't know if there's any other destination he can possibly go to besides his former teams in the Heat and the Cavaliers. So, in my mind, I think those are two amazing destinations who would like a veteran presence in their locker room. Maybe even after his career is over, even as a coach. We've seen Udonis Haslem do that for the Heat. So I think that's huge for these two teams if that can even happen. Because, we've seen the Cavaliers, they weren't able to push through in the playoffs. And I think adding an extra piece like LeBron can definitely help them. Same with the Heat. So, yeah, I don't know. But say he does end up staying with the Lakers. I don't know if that would work out. But I don't know. What do you think? If he was to stay with the Lakers, would you think they can win again? I mean, I know I already asked that question, but it's just to me it's debatable in a way.
I think if he stays, they have actually a really good chance to do something because last year, even though they lost in the first round, the regular season was really good for them. They closed as the 3 seed in the West, which is pretty good. And I think with a full year of Luka, LeBron, Anthony Reeves together, I think this team can really do something.
Yeah, for sure. And let's kind of wrap up this LeBron talk. But no, for sure, I completely agree with you. But I'm gonna just state my opinion. I don't think the Lakers are gonna be able to win, at all. And I don't see them winning beyond the Western Conference Finals until LeBron's done with his tenure with the Lakers. And I don't see the Lakers winning until Luka can finally fit in with this team. I'm not saying he hasn't, but I'm just saying until Luka can become the main guy, and I know that's what they're trying to plan out right now, we're not going to see anything from this Lakers team anytime soon. So that's it for LeBron talk. Heading over, we're actually staying in the West. 3-time NBA All-Star Julius Randle intends to sign a 3-year, $100 million deal to stay with Minnesota. We obviously saw Julius Randle get traded last year by the New York Knickerbockers to the Timberwolves. And, it was a really good swap in my opinion. I think the Knicks got what they wanted out of it. Obviously went to the Eastern Conference Finals with Cat. But they ended up losing, that core of that Villanova group. And Dante DiVincenzo, who ended up going to Minnesota. But we've also seen a lot of improvement from Minnesota as well. We saw Ant thrive. We saw Julius Randle thrive. And the same with Dante DiVincenzo. So in my personal opinion, I think this is huge for Minnesota. I like Julius Randle a lot. And I think $100 million for 3 years is perfect.
I think it's perfect, too. You look at Anthony Edwards. He was so happy when Julius Randle came along. And I think that Julius Randle improved so much from his time in New York that he can only improve even more, especially with a full season with the team. And I think he's a better player than Karl Anthony Towns because I think he's has that dog in him. Karl Anthony Towns is a little bit inconsistent and all that. I think Julius Randle's a really good fit for this team, and I think especially with 3 more years, he's really going to thrive with the team.
For sure, and I mean, I can't really say that there's a winner of this trade, but I can say that this was one of the more equal trades we've ever seen come out of the NBA in recent years. So, moving on to our next topic, the Memphis Grizzlies and All-Star Jaren Jackson Jr. are expected to agree on a 5-year, $240 million maximum renegotiation and extension. Sorry about that mix up. But no, we've seen Jaren Jackson. Obviously, was one of the better picks in the NBA draft in 2018. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. 240 for 5 years. I think he deserved it, but I don't think we've heard much from Jackson the last couple of years. I think last year, and I think that whole Memphis team, we haven't really heard a lot from them, including John Morant. So I don't know. Maybe this can spark something in the locker room, spark something throughout this team, and kind of get them fired up and keep going. But yeah, I don't know. This Memphis team is really going downhill, and to be honest with you, ever since Desmond Bain left, and hearing what he said in press conferences and to the media about how the training facility is like a prison, I don't know how to feel about that. And if I'm you, and if I'm an NBA player, I'm surely not wanting to go to Memphis whatsoever.
I mean, if we look at the Grizzlies, they have the talent. John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. I think their main downfall last year is when they fired Taylor Jenkins, their head coach. He was a very good coach for them, and they were definitely playing well with him at the helm. But once they got rid of him, they sort of went downhill and then ended up losing in the first round. I think that's a big change, and I think that if you kept Taylor Jenkins, this team could have done much better than what they performed.
For sure. Let's go back into the chat really quick. So we actually see a lot of talking back and forth here. Well, someone said that you're very handsome. How do you feel about that?
I appreciate the comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree, Sammy. Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, well, that's perfect. Yeah, Sammy is very handsome. Not gonna lie to you. Besides the point, get back to NBA talk. The Utah Jazz traded Colin Sexton in a 2030 second round pick to the Charlotte Hornets for Nurkic. We were at camp just last week and we were talking about the pieces that the Jazz have, right? And a lot of people were saying that Colin Sexton can be one of those top key players for this team. Before we go on, I think we need to talk. I think we need to talk to somebody who said that Walter Clayton. Let's ask the chat. Do you guys think Walter Clayton is the number one player or asset that the Jazz are gonna have going into next year? Because someone we know personally, and we have a mutual friend who thinks that Walter Clayton's gonna be the best player going into next year for the Jazz. But yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely not. That's the worst take I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I love Walter Clayton as a Florida fan, but I don't know if I can agree with that. I think there's a lot of better players, and I think Ace Bailey is even better, 100%. But let's get everyone's opinion in the chat, because that, to me, is, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I also think
All right, well, hold on. Before you go on, Danny says, yes, bro, definitely the number one asset. Come on. All right, well, nah, I don't know about that. I'm too lazy to call Nate right now, but yeah. Not gonna lie to you, I think the Jazz is definitely cooked with this. I think Nurkic is one of those players who we've seen him with the Trailblazers. He was obviously phenomenal. I think with the Hornets, he wasn't as good. We didn't really hear a lot from him, and that simply makes sense, right? Because he went to a team that we don't hear a lot of talking about, right? I mean, LaMelo Ball plays for the Hornets. He's one of the better players. Is your lights good?
I thought so. I don't know
Oh,
what's
all right.
going
Well,
on.
we're having a lot
We're
of
back,
technical
we're back.
difficulties today. I
I
don't
don't
even.
even know.
Well, hold on. Danny says Bailey about to be a flop, bro. I agree with that. I actually last live stream I had said that he's gonna be a bust. I think Bailey, with the way his character is as a player, his morale, his personality, I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything in the National Basketball Association. I don't think he's gonna be able to get the job done at all. And I do think he's just gonna be one of those players like Tim Tebow, who was only good in college and not in the NBA or in the professional sports whatsoever. So that's just my opinion on that. But anyone could debate me on that. I just don't think Bailey's gonna be good.
I also think. Wait, can I go?
Yeah.
So with this trade, I really thought that Walter Clayton would improve with Colin Sexton as an influence on him. Now that he's gone, I think Walter Clayton's value is going to go down a little bit in his talent because he's not going to have that big veteran anymore to look up to as like a big guard in this league. Especially with Jordan Clarkson leaving too. I think these are big losses in the growth of Walter Clayton.
Yeah, 100%. But I think he can, in my opinion, come in and step in into those roles. Right, Colin Sexton. I feel like getting traded can help Walter Clayton maybe not develop because he can, obviously learn from Sexton, who has been in the NBA for a couple of years now. But in my opinion, he's gonna be able to. I mean, I know I'm high on development, but I do think getting into a team that has roster spots, right? Like he can come in and obviously prove himself right away because, like I've said, Colin Sexton's traded. He is playing the same position that Walter Clayton is playing, so I think it's perfect in a way for Walter Clayton. But yeah, I don't know. I think Nurkic going to this team is amazing. I think him and Markkinen can definitely team up, and same with
Filipowski.
yeah. Well, I haven't heard a lot about him in recent years, to be honest with you. Or ever since he got drafted, I've heard a lot about him. You think he can live up to the hype?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, hopefully Cooper Flag can do the opposite. But yeah. Off to the next topic. Actually, hold on. I was looking at the comments. Wait. Thoughts on Todd Pettiford. See, as a Florida fan, we own Auburn, but he's not bad. I mean, I think he's one of those players he can come in and step up really soon, really quickly. Like, he's good.
He'll be a top 5 pick in next year's draft.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, he did. He did drop out the draft. I forgot about that. You think he's gonna be top 5?
Yeah, I think, especially with the new people coming in.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of. I'm not saying there's not gonna be a lot of talent, but yeah, I agree with that. I think he's gonna be a top 5 easily. I just see if he can maintain how he's been. I mean, especially like last year, he was phenomenal. Hold on, guys. I think everyone's gonna get excited about this. Thoughts on NCAA coming back? Thoughts on it, Sammy? What do you think?
This was the best news yesterday, especially with college football coming back a few years ago. Now we have college basketball as well. It's going to be a lot of fun to play, especially with friends.
100%. I mean, I know I'm going to demolish you with Florida against North Carolina. That's no doubt.
No, you won't.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not. North Carolina is the greatest basketball school ever invented.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, here we go again. I think we all know what school is the best of all time, and that's St. Peter's. The Peacocks are the greatest. I'm joking. No, I think it's Duke, without a doubt.
Absolutely not. Screw Duke.
Can we kick Noah Oliver from the chat, please? He's trying to hurry me up. Let's remove him. All right, thank you. No, I mean I'm excited for this. Obviously I was trolling about the Peacocks, but no, I think Duke's honestly better than NC. But we won't get into that debate. That's a topic for another day. UNC, the best basketball school. No, it's not, Ashton. No, it's not.
I agree, Ashton.
No, it's not. Thank you, Sammy. It's Duke. It is Duke, without a doubt. Who had a Coach K and who didn't?
Who had Roy Williams and who didn't?
Okay, not debatable at all. Coach K is the GOAT. Like when we talk about when we talk about coaches in any professional sport, we talk about Bill Belichick. We talk about Nick Saban, and you want to know who else is up there? Coach K. All right. Sorry Roy. No, Roy's not even debatable. Not even debatable for Roy.
John Wooden is better than Coach K. When he won all those titles with UCLA, bro.
Sorry, Sammy. I don't know. Yeah, Shane said I would say Duke 100%. Yeah, without a doubt. Thank you. Again,
Duke, bro.
No, it's not glazing. It's just saying the truth.
Yes, it is.
Truth.
There's no truth.
The people. You want to see up there. For you now. I don't know about that. No, I can't agree on that. But no, I simply have to disagree with you on that. But no, I mean, I think everyone's hyped up for this game. I mean, we're gonna have to wait till our senior year of high school.
Yeah, 2028.
Yeah. So all right. I don't know how to feel about that, but it's okay. UNC Glaze gotta stop. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo. You're a legend. Can I pin this comment? Thank you.
Don't pin it.
Yeah, thank you. UNC Glaze gotta stop. For sure, without a doubt. Is Sean Livingston better mid-range shooter than Melo? No, he's not. Wait a second. You can say your take on that while I go get my Melo jersey because Melo is the greatest basketball player of all time.
Sean Livingston has never missed a mid-range. He is the greatest mid-range shooter of all time. Put him in the Hall of Fame just for that because Melo doesn't even come close to Sean Livingston's potential. Like, you look at Sean Livingston, he won those titles with the Warriors. He did not miss one shot. He's the GOAT, and he's the GOAT of the mid-range for a reason. Also, Mo, UNC on top, by the way. Duke is trash. And Sean Livingston's the GOAT. And I'm going to go ahead a little bit because Vinny's not back yet. Cam Johnson got traded for Michael Porter Jr. I really like this trade for the Nuggets because you get Cam Johnson, a younger guy, more consistent guy, can shoot the three really well and play good defense. And then if you look on the Nets side, the Nets are...
Yo, Melo is the greatest basketball player of my generation.
Take that jersey off.
No. You don't know anything
LeBron
about
James
ball.
is the greatest.
No, sorry to tell you about that. No, hold on. Great take, Sammy. Love the Livingston Glaze. No, Melo is the greatest mid-range shooter of all time. I think Sean Livingston obviously was amazing, great from mid-range, but no, he is not comparable to the greatest player of all time.
Melo might not even come top 10 this entire generation.
Melo is
Let's be
phenomenal.
honest here.
Melo is phenomenal,
Let's be
buddy. But all right, no. Sorry, Sammy. I don't. No, sorry. Nope.
I'm glad, Vinny, that you like Melo, but Allen Iverson is better this generation. LeBron James is better. More than 10 players are better than Melo.
Okay, well. Melo Buns. All right, we're gonna kick Shane out of the.
Get Shane out.
Yeah, Shane. We're gonna put user in timeout. Not joking. Well, actually, we're gonna put timeout for 1 minute. I didn't know you can do that. All right, we deleted it. It's okay.
All right, let's keep it going.
Yeah, hold on. We are talking about Carmelo freaking Anthony. That is correct. Thank you. You two should take this take to the ring. Yo, Sammy, you want to do a fight?
Yes, absolutely. I'd win that.
Top 10 worst take of all time. All right, Andrew. I know this is 100% you because no one glazes the crap out of the Yankees more than you. All rise with an Aaron Judge PFP. Everyone boo Andrew in the chat again. This is disgusting.
Boo Andrew. Aaron Judge is overrated.
Yeah, come on. Well, we'll get into baseball later. But boo, man. Yankees suck. Would you boys consider Katie a top 10 player of all time?
Yes.
No.
But
No.
Curry carried them to the chip.
No, I wouldn't say so. 2020 Montvert or 2016 Chino His. I'm gonna take Chino His.
2020 Monfort is wiping the floor.
Okay, well, sure, I guess.
of
Yeah,
2016.
boo Andrew. Boo Andrew, everybody. Boo Andrew. Thank you. Thank you. Phillies on top. Gotta disagree with you on that one. I don't know how to feel about that. Marlins are 100%.
You're a Marlins fan,
Yeah,
bro. You're a Marlins
100% better. 100% better. Okay, well, I'm Andrew. All right, well, it doesn't matter. I've seen Andrew go on that account. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I love how we're going off track. This is what makes
Yeah.
live streaming fun. Fight night, yeah. I think we should do it, honestly.
That'd be fun.
Sammy, you guys say every sport of all time. or every sport all the time. Do you guys know about UFC? Well, actually,
Yes.
we
yes,
do.
actually, a little bit.
We do. I think we can agree
Ilya,
that.
number 1 pound for pound.
Hold on. I think we can agree that John Jones is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. The greatest athlete of all time.
That's a crazy take. The greatest athlete.
Yes. Fighting has got to be the
Michael
hardest thing
Phelps
to
is
do.
a better
Hold on.
athlete
Fighting.
than John Jones.
Did you say Michael Phelps?
Yes.
Swimming isn't a sport.
In his prime. Yes, it is. There's
Jesus
races like
Christ.
every other-
Come on, Sammy. I can't do this.
That means you would say track and field's not a sport?
Well, sure, I guess.
Yeah, that has racing, so how's swimming not a sport?
Because we're talking about
Michael Phelps.
alright, whatever you want. Just because he has the medals and all that. But no,
Ilya
John
would be
Jones
the
is
better
up there,
UFC
buddy.
Fighter by the end of his career than
Alright,
John
well,
Jones.
alright. Whatever. Swimming is definitely a sport, big dog. Sammy with the insane ball
come
knowledge.
on.
Phelps much better athlete overall. Swimming is physically most draining. I think we can all agree on that. But I don't know. I gotta disagree with that. I just think John Jones is a lot more, not recognizable, but I just think when it comes to, not even relevant. I can't debate you. You win this. I can do this.
Come on, easy money, easy money. Go put your head down.
Ashton said Mighty Mouse over John Jones.
Ashton, watch your mouth. That is completely false.
Yeah.
Completely false.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. All right, so we're completely getting off topic right now. I'd say we get back into let's get back into the NBA topic. For right now, we you know what? At the end we'll
Wanna go to the bigger stuff?
Nah, I mean let's just go in order. Wait, what's it called though? We'll go back to everyone in the chat when it comes to like talking about UFC and whatnot and debating later. You were actually talking before when I walked into the room. You were talking about the Nuggets trade with the Nets. So, what do you think about? I know you already stated your opinion, but what do you think about that?
I really like the trade for the Nuggets. You're getting a better shooter, a better consistent player, and a younger player all in one deal. I think the Nuggets are definitely going to be contenders now. He's going to start perfectly on their team, and I think they have one of the best big threes, actually, in the league. Underrated.
Well, in a way, I want to agree with you. But at the same time, we take a look at this Nets team who definitely needs a little more of a veteran leadership. I like MPJ, honestly. I think he was one of the bigger pieces for that championship team who beat my Miami Heat. So, in my opinion, I'm going to have to ultimately disagree with you. Like, it's fair, in a way. It's fair. I would see why the Nuggets won the trade in the end. They get a 2032 first-round pick. They obviously, end up getting a younger player who you say is better than MPJ, but I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that. But no, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. I think MPJ is better than Cam Johnson and will be better than he ever will be and ever was. So that's just my take on that. I don't really think it's debatable. But yeah. So I think the Nets won this trade. You think the Nuggets won this trade. But we'll just have to see by 2032 when the next future pick gets chosen. You think the Nuggets are going to be good in 2032?
I think Jokic is going to be retired by then just because he's already in his 30s. Depends how they revolve their team. If Cam Johnson's still on the team and they get a lot of good players, because we don't know what's going to happen in 2032, I think it's just a 50-50 chance of how good they're going to be.
Yeah. Someone said, can we talk about the White Mamba? Yeah, Brian Scalabrine is...
Come on.
One of the best players of all time. I hate the Celtics, but Brian Scalabrine is my GOAT. What do you feel about that?
Who doesn't love little Brian Scalabrine, Celtics legend?
Thank you. We love Brian Scalabrine. Give it up for him. Danny said the Nuggets downfall in 2030. I agree with that.
I agree. I think that's possible.
So in a way, we can speak on behalf of this as to why. That's the thing. This is one of the harder trades to really predict, because at the end of the day, I don't really know who would win this trade when it comes to the 2030s in the future. But I don't know. I do agree with that. I do think the Nuggets are gonna fall off the face of the earth. Moving on. Speaking about the Celtics, center Luke Cornett has agreed to a 4-year, $41 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are adding talent to this roster and adding somebody who knows how to win championships. And Luke Cornett, we obviously have seen he was not starting on any of these rosters, especially on that championship team, but he was still coming off the bench with phenomenal stat lines. Luke Cornett, I think this is a huge piece that the Spurs were able to add. We've talked about the Spurs recently because of Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper and a lot of these young guys. I think adding a veteran who knows how to win basketball games, this is huge. I'm not saying him and Victor are going to get along and become the next great duo when it comes to bigs, but I do think this is one of those moves where we're going to see it work out. I think Cornette is going to be able to fit into this team perfectly. I know he's going to miss Boston. He has been there for a longevity of time, but I just think this is a huge move for the Spurs, and I think they definitely won this signing compared to anything else. Well, speaking about the Celtics, though, we'll actually skip ahead and talk about it for a second. What's your personal opinion on the Celtics right now? Because we've seen a lot go down. Tatum.
Okay, go.
Obviously Tatum going down with an injury. But I don't know. I don't think the Celtics team is going to be any good. And so getting rid of players is perfect. We obviously were talking about the Drew Holiday headline last live stream. And so I don't know. I don't think the Celtics are going to be in a good place next year. As a Heat fan, I'm so happy. But, yeah. Who's more of a clutch shooter, Brunson or Halliburton?
Halliburton. Greatest clutch shooter we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah. I think Helly. I personally do think. I don't think Brunson is. I know he got nominated or whatever for Clutch Player of the Year, but I just think Halliburton is better. At least right now. And it's so unfortunate to see him go down with an injury. And we're going to see a very huge downfall from this Pacers team. Debate me if you want. This Pacers team will not be back in the finals anytime soon.
Especially losing Miles Turner.
You're losing Miles Turner. Well, we'll get into that in a second. But losing Miles Turner is huge, Sammy. Huge. And not only that, but they're missing their star player in Halliburton. He's hurt. And that Achilles injury is going to be hard to recover from. So, no. I do not think the Pacers are going to be in a good place. Shane said, do you think Pacers win Game 7 if Halliburton doesn't get hurt? 100%. One of the biggest what ifs of all time. Oh, and Sammy just go off. Hold on.
We're back?
Hold on. What happened? Where'd you go?
I'm right here.
All right. Well, I thought it was that's a first. That's a first. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. So Jack joining back into the pod. Jack, stick around. I don't know what just happened to Sammy. Yeah, Danny. He just disappeared. No, Sammy's back. It's all right. Sammy's fine. Sammy's back. That's good. Jack, what's up? Do we have any hot takes, boys? I'll let you go first.
I got one.
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
The Philadelphia 76ers
just shut up.
will get past the second round
of
this year's playoffs.
That's never going to happen. Sorry to tell you that. Never going to happen.
Hot take.
It's a hot take, right? But it's never going to happen. Be a little more realistic when you talk about takes. Just like I think the Miami Heat, right? The Miami Heat will be back in the Eastern Conference Finals in the next
That is
5.
That's even worse.
Oh my God, next 5 years. Listen, 5 years. You got 5 years to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
You have Tyler Hero and nobody else.
Bam Adebayo?
Over
Come on. Use your ball knowledge, buddy. Use your ball knowledge. Oh my God. You have no knowledge. Jeez.
All right, so you have Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, and you have nobody else. You're paying players like Davian Mitchell
Right, and
$45 million.
right, and he's good, all right. So I think it's a perfect signing. I didn't actually put that in the notes, but I think it's a perfect signing. Debate me if you want. I just think it's a good signing at the end of the day. But no,
Okay.
sorry, I don't know. You're all over the place. Shane said Philly Miami sports. Let's kick him out the chat because you clearly don't know anything.
Philly is over Miami.
Oh my
Sports.
God. All right, well, from a baseball perspective, yeah, sure, whatever you want.
If it wasn't for LeBron,
From a
have
basketball,
no championship.
from what? Wait, say that again.
yes. If it wasn't for LeBron, you guys would have no championships.
Yeah, we won one in 2006, buddy. Use your head. Dwayne Wade and Shaq. Come on,
All right,
use
one.
your head. We'd have one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How many championships do the 76ers have?
We won in 1983, and I'm pretty sure we won one in 1966.
All right, so how many is that?
So two.
Two,
Two.
right? 2 compared to what?
I only
3.
know one.
3. And you know who's about a
Oh,
3-peat?
now, yeah,
The
yeah.
Florida Panthers. The Flyers don't compare to anything the Panthers have been able to do in recent history, all right? I am so sorry, but Miami is clearly better than Philly when it comes to sports as of maybe right now, maybe not future.
What about football, though?
All right, well,
Yeah, let's get started on that. Defending champs, Philadelphia.
hey, well, clap it up. Everyone clap it up for us. We both won a championship this year. Our teams won a championship this year, Panthers and Eagles, so give it up for us. But Sixers and Heat are both trash. Well, you would say they're trash, right? But you take a look at this East, that is not strong at all, Sammy. Not strong
It's
at
wide
all.
open.
And it's wide open with the Celtics and the Bucks going downhill, right? I think from a Heat, as a Heat fan, from a perspective as a Heat fan, I don't think we're gonna be able to really do much. As much as I would want to say that we're gonna be able to, push forward and win, I don't see it. 76ers, on the other hand, I can see going far. Maybe not past the second round, but I can see them making it to the playoffs. Can't say the same for the Heat, but yeah.
I'm with you there. I just think for the Sixers to get past the second round, Jared McCain and VJ Edgecombe are going to have to go crazy because we've never really had a young player actually perform in the clutch. Ben Simmons did not perform in the clutch. So if they can, I think there's a big chance. With this roster,
Yeah.
I believe.
100%. And again, we got off topic, but that's okay. That's the fun of the game. It's the fun of the game. Going on to our next topic, the 11-time NBA All-Star James Harden is declining his player option and intends to, or actually already signed his 2-year, $81.5 million contract to return to the Clippers. We're not going to see anything out of Harden at all for the rest of his career if he's deciding to stay with the Clippers. I don't think that was the right move in my opinion, but who knows? Maybe something can happen. The Clippers end up balling out. And speaking about the Clippers, which we're going to continue talking about this, they actually signed free agent center Brook Lopez to a 2-year deal, in this case for a lot less of the money, only $18 million. I don't know. The Clippers are doing moves that it seems like they want to win, right? But I don't know if James Harden can be that guy. He is not the same player he was on, not even comparable on the Nets, at least on the Rockets. But I really like this Brook Lopez signing. I don't know if I like the Harden signing as much, but we can tell they want to win a lot. They obviously got the new stadium, and their fan base is probably growing by the day. But at the same time, I don't know. These are two aging players, Sammy. I don't know. How do you feel about this?
I'm really interested to see how the Clippers perform this season because they still got Kawhi Leonard, and I feel like we don't talk about him as much. Vinny, I got a question to ask you. Do we think Kawhi Leonard's ever going to win another championship?
100% not. And listen. I love Kawhi Leonard. When I first started getting into basketball, I've always been into basketball. When I first started really paying attention to stats, to players, to all-star selections, all that, was around 2018. And you know what else happened that season? Kawhi Leonard won the championship. So at the end of the day, I don't think he will. He is aging. He's dealing with injuries. And at the same time, I don't know if I can say, yeah, he's going to be able to win another championship. I can't. Especially if he sticks around here in Los Angeles. I just don't think it can happen again. But listen, I love that Raptors run from him. He proved why he was so talented. But again, a lot of what ifs during that series in the finals against the Warriors, especially with KD going down with a huge injury. Not going to get into that. But, yeah, I don't know. Answering your question, I just don't think he will. But we'll have to see about the Clippers in the future. Alu King said, trade Austin Reeves. He's weakness defense. Well, we're not actually talking about the Lakers right now. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd trade him. I don't know if I can agree on that. Brooke Lopez looks like my big toe. Same. Yeah.
He does.
Oh. I mean, my big toe is ugly. I don't know if I really want to show that, but I...
Do not show it.
Can I?
Absolutely not.
Hey, everyone in the chat, do you want me to show you my big toe?
1 in the chat for yes, 2 in the chat for no.
All right. We'll wait and see if anyone wants us to. People came here for sports talk, not showing toes, but that's fine. No one's really responding right now, but how'd you guys feel about Shea winning MVP over Jokic? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Shea winning the MVP over Jokic?
I think it's part he deserved it, but also part the NBA didn't want another repeat winner. Jokic would have had 3 MVPs in a row, and I feel like the NBA wanted to spice up the variety a little bit. Don't get me wrong, Shea had an insane season. I mean, people are comparing it to 96 Jordan, which is insane.
Oh.
He averaged 30 points a game. I just feel like people don't like Jokic or take as much appreciation for him just because of his style of play. He's more slow, not as fit. But I think Shea, in any other season, I think Shea should have won MVP. But just this season, I think Jokic should have won.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think Jokic deserved it, in my opinion. But, yeah, we're getting a lot of ones in the chat, so I think I'm going to... No, don't worry. Getting back to NBA talk, we're very lopsided. Yeah, I don't know. Clippers definitely not going to be able to do anything in the future, but it's okay. And now, on to one of the more serious topics during free agency these last couple of days. Miles Turner signs a 4-year, $107 million contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. We've seen a lot happen with the Bucks this offseason as a whole, even with the draft. So, in my personal opinion, I don't think this was a good move. Right? Because we take a look at their star player in Giannis. Giannis being the player they're building around. We had the same topic and talk with the Lakers earlier in the live stream. Can the Lakers organization, fulfill the needs of LeBron? The Bucks aren't doing that with Giannis. So at the end of the day, we take a look at longevity. We're not going to see Giannis on this team anytime soon. We can see him leave in the next year. For sure. Without a doubt. He's publicly said, I would love to retire a Buck, with this and that. I'm sorry, Giannis. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
I totally agree with you. I think you saw his tweet after, we'll get ahead to this, the Dame Lillard getting traded or get released. I think the Pacers are going to be really upset about letting Miles Turner go. He was a 10-year Pacer, and he led them to the not lead them, but he was a big contributor into bringing the Pacers to the finals this year. I think he really blossomed into a really good center, and I think both the Pacers and Bucks are going to be a little upset because I don't think Giannis liked the move.
Yeah, and he's publicly said he did not. I would for sure say that this Bucks team needs help immediately, and Miles Turner coming off a finals appearance where he balled out, right? Huge piece in a way, but with the amount of money you're going to pay the man, was dropping Damian Lillard the right decision? Right?
No.
Because
this decision.
Go ahead.
This decision doesn't make sense. I understand that he's injured and he's probably going to be out the entire year. But we're talking about Dame Lillard. Like, this guy's on the NBA 75th anniversary team. He's the top 75 greatest of all time. And we're releasing him for a guy in Miles Turner who doesn't even have that many all-star appearances. I just don't think it makes much sense, especially for a team that Giannis doesn't really want to be with. But if he wants to stay with the team, wants to contend, I think this is minimizing that effect.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can't seem to agree on a lot of things with what people have said about the Bucks and Pacers talk. To be so honest with you, I don't know if getting rid of Dame was the right decision. I mean, we talk about Dame. He is, again, like you said, one of the greatest players of all time. He's in that top 75 caliber players. But also, you take a look at, the needs, right? The needs. And I don't know if going forward, Giannis is going to like this. Like, I'm going to say it again. I don't think he's going to. He has obviously expressed it. We'll see how him and Miles Turner end up playing with each other in the near future. But, yeah, I don't know. I just find this a crazy deal. And they better not trade him, Sammy. Because if they trade him, the amount of money going on the roof is going to be insane.
That'd be blockbuster.
Right.
Blockbuster.
Yeah. Moving on to one of those talks, right, where we kind of just mainly focus on a team. When we talk about teams throughout the offseason, I think there's only one team we can say, yeah, they've done the most and they've been able to do it best. And to me, that is the Houston Rockets, who are building around Kevin Durant and this young group of guys, right? We talk about re-signing Jabari Smith Jr. on a 5-year, $122 million rookie contract extension. Also, signing Dorian Finney-Smith on a 4-year, $53 million deal. And then, last but not least, Clint Capella coming back to the Rockets on a 3-year, $21.5 million deal. I am so stoked to watch this team in action, Sammy. This is amazing for this Rockets team, and they will definitely prove why they are the best team in Texas.
I think this Rockets team is better than that team that had Clint Capella, PJ Tucker, Chris Paul, James Harden. You look at the young amount of star players they have. Alperen Sengun is one of the least talked about All-Stars, I think, in the league. Jabari Smith, once again, another least talked about All-Star. Fred VanVleet, we don't talk about much. And now you have Kevin Durant. All those players, I think, are going to correspond with each other perfectly, especially with Dorian Finney-Smith coming off the bench. This team is so dangerous, and I can't wait to see them this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a huge team going forward throughout the year. Yeah, I just think this is amazing. They're trying to build around a veteran player, and that's what the Bucks weren't able to do, and that's what the Lakers are having trouble with doing currently. So maybe they should take a look and maybe take a little bit of advice from the Houston Rockets, who have definitely proved why they are the best in Texas and will be the best, even though Texas is probably the state for basketball right now. We talk about, the Spurs, who have obviously had one of those younger but better teams. They're kind of like the Thunder in a way, but in a more growing process. Same can be said for the Mavs, who just drafted Cooper Flag, who is the best player in that draft, who will be the best player in that draft, and is probably going to be one of the best players that the NBA will see during our generation or maybe all time. So huge for Texas. They are living it up right now, and I'm going to be so honest with you. This is going to be fun basketball to watch throughout the state.
I think these NBA ratings are going to go up after
Yeah.
this offseason.
100%. I mean, they're doing it right. Everyone's doing it right, but the Bucks and the Lakers, in my opinion. I think the same can be said for the Sixers and the Heat because we're not able to do anything either. But it's okay. But yeah. Moving on to the National Football League, the Dolphins receive Minka Fitzpatrick, All-Pro safety, and a 2027 fifth-round pick from the Steelers, who also will be receiving All-Pro corner Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith, who just came off a Pro Bowl selection. Let me ask you a question. What do you feel about this?
I think we don't usually see a star-for-star trade in the NFL. I think the Dolphins won this. You look at Minka Fitzpatrick. He's younger than Jalen Ramsey. He's also an All-Pro. He's coming back to where he started his career with, and they get a fifth-round pick in this deal. I think the Dolphins are an even better team than they were before they traded Jalen Ramsey. And I think even after this trade, they still are a better team.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I don't know. I simply have to agree with the fact that the Dolphins won this trade. I mean, I get it. We're trading away Jalen Ramsey, who is one of the better corners we've seen in the NFL in a long time. Same can be said for Jonnu Smith, who's one of the currently one of the best tight ends. But I don't know. I simply see Minka Fitzpatrick and him coming back to the team he was drafted by, who gave him a chance to enter the league. I don't think you could have written a better story. So I think Minka Fitzpatrick, who obviously wasn't happy with his tenure, his first half tenure with the Dolphins, I think his second half can be completely different. We can see a huge impact from the All-Pro safety going forward. And then another big piece of news: Dolphins then traded a 6th and 7th round pick for former All-Pro tight end Darren Waller from the Giants. He ends up coming out of retirement for the trade. As a Dolphins fan, I simply gotta say I like it, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be better than Jonnu Smith, but at the same time, I don't think we're gonna be able to do much from that side of the ball. We're probably gonna be run heavy and just gonna be chucking it to Tyreek Hill, chucking it to Jalen Waddle all year long. I don't think Darren Waller's going to be able to fit into the system because you take a look at the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins like versatile tight ends who can block, who can receive, but also can be shifty and move around. We saw that with Gesicki. We saw that with Jonnu Smith and Durham Smythe. But can we see that with Darren Waller? No, I don't think so. So that's why, as much as I may say I like it, I don't know. I think we're going to be missing our former tight ends rather than our newer ones. So we'll just have to see going forward.
I actually really like this move for the Dolphins because we don't know how when he retired, we were like, whoa, this was not expected because he was still in his late 20s. That's really good age for an NFL player. I think behind the scenes, we don't know how much Darren Waller's been training to possibly get another moment in the NFL. I think if he comes out with the Dolphins and really develops into their offense, he'll be one of the most underrated tight ends this season, especially with all the weapons on that Dolphins offense. I feel like people aren't going to look for Darren Waller, and if he gets open, he's going to catch it.
100%. But yeah, I agree with that. Hopefully the Dolphins can use him to some sort of ability. And, not a lot of people are in the chat right now. Not a lot of people are viewing the live stream. But we appreciate everyone who was able to come on tonight. Sadly, Andrew wasn't able to attend. But even though we got some booze out of it, he was able to help us get back on track as a producer. I don't know. This was a very fun episode. I really enjoyed doing it with you, Sammy. But yeah, I hope you can come back on. Yeah, no, this was amazing. We had fun. And I wish there was more people in the chat so we can talk a little more and lead this even longer. But simply, there's just no one to talk to. So we're going to have to end this live stream. But I appreciate everyone for coming on, like I said. Hopefully, we can make some short-form content coming out of this. If not, the live stream it is. But yeah, thank you guys, everyone, for joining the second live stream of the Sports Coverage Podcast.